I hope you didn't just hear that from Stefan, but okay.
Sorry.
We might have had the best intro we've ever had there. Yeah, it's just me and Stefan again this week. So it's the rule of two. We are the two kings. We are
Yes.
in charge of
Yeah.
this shit
Oh,
now. We are in charge of this shit for now, I should say, instead of now. Because Jay
no,
is
we are
busy
in
with
charge
Baba.
now.
And yeah, we are in charge now. We are the rulers. We are in charge. Which
Yes.
bodes well for nothing and no one, considering how much we try to organise and it never gets done.
We're not that. Okay, we are. Never mind.
Yeah, oh, don't try and mangle your way out of it. We are. And I'm gonna start in typical uh in typical us two fashion by saying I want to buy an island.
So do I.
Specifically
What?
because
Which one?
uh, there's a guy called Brendan Grimshaw. I love any name that's got Grimshaw or Grim or anything like that in, who purchased a Moyenne island off Seychelles. I'm assuming
Seychelles.
it's I'm assuming it's French or some
Yes,
shit.
it
I
is.
don't know.
It's the Seychelles, Kyle.
Why can't it just sounds like it's French for seashells? Just call it seashells.
It's the
Uh,
Seychelles.
he bought it for £8,000 and was its sole inhabitant from 1973 until his death in 2012. Now, £8,000 in 1973, I'm guessing, was a shit ton of money. Stefan, can you do a bit of a
I thought.
conversion
I
there?
thought. I thought you said 800,000. I was going
No,
to say. I
8,000.
don't mean to be a dick, but I don't think we have the resources to buy it to spend £800,000.
Especially considering in the 70s that would have been a lot more than it is now. No, I wish we had £800,000 because I would happily buy one.
My contribution to working this out was just accidentally googling 800 because I hadn't finished. Yeah, right. And when?
1973. Also, to Aiden's question, we like history because history is fucking awesome.
I've
That's
got it.
why.
Convert
History is the best bit in the world. History is the reason I enjoyed school, honestly.
a cumulative. So 8,000 in 1973. 2022 is a average inflation rate of about 3.84% per year, which is a total of 533.22%. So in today's money, it's £50,657
So even then,
and
it's still cheaper than a house.
30 pence.
And 30 pence, of course. So even then, it's still cheaper than it is for a house now. Like, I could, if that island was for sale, I could buy it for less than a house.
Oh,
Which,
piss and
like,
shit.
apparently during his life, he managed to transform it, planting 16,000 trees and introducing 2,000 birds and 120 giant tortoises. He was offered $50 million for it, but declared it a national park instead. I don't know whether that's wise or stupid, because on the one hand, 50 million quid. On the other hand, by the time he was offered the 50 million, he might not give a shit, to be honest.
Ooh, hold on. So the thing I did was dollars, but it's different in the UK because
Oh, okay.
our average inflation isn't 3 point odd percent, it's 5.36%. So in the UK, it has a cumulative price increase of 1,188.64%. So £8,000 in 1973 in today's money is £103,000 and 87 pence because fuck the UK and their shit economy.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you
So I
buy
still
shit
wouldn't
and
be
then
able to
yes,
afford it.
UK and their shit economy because then it's worth more.
Yeah. Wait, it's like what is it? Like a few years ago, I can't remember if it was last year or like 5 years ago or something. It was either Italy or Spain or somewhere. It might have been France actually. They were selling houses. It was a scheme by the
That
government.
was a really broad
Th-
sweep.
They were they were selling decrepit houses and villas and buildings for €1 or $1 or
Oh,
like
Italy, I'm sure.
basically cheapest chips. Yeah, I'm sure it's Italy. They were selling it for like €1 on the. It was like a drive to reinvigorate the areas by saying, let's get people to just buy these houses for cheap and then build them up. And that way it saves us having to build them all up and spend taxpayers' money and stuff, while also giving someone a project to do, someone a place to live, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of expats and a lot of British people apparently decided, fuck it, I'll do that. And some of the transformations are absolutely amazing. And then there's some of them where you can tell they've gotten there, realised what type of mistake they've made, and just went, fuck it, I only spent £1, I'm fucking off.
I mean, I'd live in Italy for £1. I don't care where it is. I live under a bridge. It's got to be better than the UK.
I would happily buy, like, finding a job and all that sort of stuff, worth the trouble. I would I would spend however many years it would take me to learn Italian just to get a house for £1, or however much €1 is in British currency. I feel like it's like £1 7 pence or something. I'm sure their economy's a bit better than ours.
No, a pound's worth a bit more than a. The pound, Kyle, is always worth, or generally is always worth a little bit because our economy itself is shit.
I see. I thought
So I
the
know a
pound
pound
was.
is roughly.
I thought the pound compared to euro was a bit weak.
No, it's. I'm sure I'll look. I'm going to look in a second. I'm sure that give or take a dollar, a US dollar is usually worth between 60 and 70 pence. So our currency is quite strong compared to the dollar, and I'm sure that the euro it's about 90 pence ish. Or I could be wrong.
Ah, as of the 25th of February, so today, uh, sorry,
That's cheating.
as
I'm going off
of
past information. Oh shit! It's
uh,
119.
yeah, it's 119. So the euro is actually better than the
Okay,
pound. Does that make it better? Or what? I can't remember how it works. Whether if it's worth more in a different currency, it's more
better because
powerful.
it's
If it's
worth
worth
more.
less, then right.
Oh
Okay.
no,
So
no. I was no. That's right. It's worse because it,
oh no, you froze. You froze. The
it's
internet's deciding. Susie, we've just looked it up. Sorry, it's like 119. So the euro is actually better than the pound
no, it's
now,
not.
isn't
She's
it?
right. That's what I was saying. The chat is correct.
What?
84p pound sterling is a euro. So it's right what I was saying. So
Oh, I
it's
was
because
converting
it
it
was
the other
one
way.
euro, it was £1.
I was
So
converting it the
it's
other way.
yeah. So whatever's the smaller
Ugh.
numbers, the better currency because it's literally like our pound is worth more. It's worth €1.19.
Fair do. I
Money when you go abroad.
apologize.
I'm poor in this country.
You see,
I want to go to
I'm just.
Japan. I'll be a billionaire.
I mean, you will, but at the same time, you'll need those billions just to be able to buy anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure it works how it does in my head.
Susie cheated. She asked Alexa. Damn it. No, I know that. I know
That's not
that.
cheating. That's just being smarter than us.
Let's see if I can sort of Alexa. Alexa, hello. Tell a joke. Sorry to anybody if that actually works. Susie, let us know if that worked.
The pound is only 154 yen.
Right, considering 1,000 yen, like I'm pretty sure it's something like 100 yen is what we would call a pound. Like 100 yen is, yeah, I'm sure 100 yen is basically pounds. Like you spend 1,000 yen on stuff. I think like if we were to buy a £15 meal over there, it would be like 15, 20,000 yen or something like that. I can't remember how it works, but it's really mad the increments that it goes up to. Like you do end up spending millions of yen on cars and stuff like that.
Hold on, we need to go back to. Oh, I can't zoom in
I
enough.
love Japan. I am highly interested in Japan, but I have never been able to fully understand how much things are in comparison. Just because you
Build a
hear
time
things on
machine.
TV.
Build a time machine and go back to the 1st of October 1982 and then go to Japan.
Why? How much was it worth?
455.59 yen.
Okay, one, where the fuck have you found that out from? Two, wouldn't that mean we would have to do pound like sterling, not sterling? We would have to do oh, what the fuck they're called?
You
You know
go
what I mean?
to
The old currency before we had sterling. You know
the
what I
old.
mean?
Do you want us to work it out?
Our
Right, hold
old
on.
currency, guineas and stuff like that. That's the ones.
Guinea
Ah,
is £1. Isn't auctions guineas because you'd pay X amount of guineas. The sale would be in pounds, and the auctioneer would take the pound as his commission. But that's irrelevant. I've diverged. Right,
say
hold
you've
on, Kyle.
diverged, but
This is what you do. You get
what
a
is
time machine.
right?
Get your
I mean,
calculator.
I want a time machine. I want a time machine anyway. 1 second,
Yes,
I'll get one up.
154 yen currently. You got a calculator up.
I've got a calculator up. Hold on.
So you take say £100. Yeah, you get your
Right.
time machine. You go back to when the yen was weakest. So you go back to the 15th of October 1982. Is so put this in your calculator. 400.45.
Yes.
Yep. And times that by 100. So this is what you get for your £100. This is how many yen?
45,845.
Right. You come
I mean, I
to
feel like we could have figured that out without a calculator. It's just adding two zeros onto the end of the original number.
yeah, but you need to have it in your store for this.
Right, okay.
Right. 100. Then you get in your back in your time machine with that money, and you come to the fuck was that 127?
Hey.
The 19th of October 2016,
Right, okay. Why?
where it was 127.09. So you divide that by 127.09.
127.09.
So you convert it back into pounds.
£360 and 72 pence.
There you are. 3 times the amount of money.
I mean,
Time machine stock trading is the way forward.
just time machine anything is the way forwards. If you go in a time machine and go far enough back, you can get the fucking gold coins from the Viking era and just go right here. You go. I'll have that for £2,000. Oh, by the way, I've got a million more. Hello. Hello.
I want my DNA test on here. When I did my
Okay.
oh yeah go.
It's fine. My mother just walked in. She's just gotten back.
Yes, we can hear. What was I saying? You froze. Oh, right, yeah. So I'm not talking about my DNA thing in here, but I did
This is
find out
why.
that
This is why nothing
mostly
gets
English
done.
and Scandinavian.
Northern
But
English and Scandinavian. So you are a true Northerner.
I've Viking, well, I've Viking ancestry. But yeah,
Yeah, true
literally
Northerner.
85% of my DNA is Northern English and Scandinavian. So it's
What's
quite cool to find
that?
out. Also, a little bit Balkan, which apparently only 5% of the UK has Balkan DNA. I don't know how much that.
Because we went to war and invaded them.
No, so I looked into that actually. It turns out when the Roman Empire was coming across here, there was a small detachment, a company that was made up of fighters from the Balkans that the Romans had already been and conquered. There was a small detachment of Balkans that came over and settled, that was there basically to stop the Scottish being dickheads. And they kind of settled in the north of England, and that's where that DNA possibly comes from. Or it could have been from when the Vikings went across all of Europe raping everybody. So, it's touch and
So,
go.
either or. Either or, whichever works. Hey, Christ.
And I thought, I know, if Viking ancestry is part of my DNA, then I should learn Viking language. But it's really hard to learn Old Norse.
I mean, it's really hard to learn Old
There's not
English,
too
never mind
many
Old Norse.
classes on it.
No, I can imagine there's not. I
I'll
mean,
stick
I'm
to
pretty
learning
sure you
German.
can learn how to write the runes. You can learn to write the
Maybe.
runes, and then you can do Viking magic. And I'll do that with my calligraphy.
Is
I'll
that how it
sit there and
works?
calligraphy the runes. I
I
mean,
don't think
fuck
it
it, if
gives
we
you magic.
accidentally make a spell, who's gonna care?
It
This is the
depends
thing,
what the
like
spell is.
everything that's ever connected to magic is always done in an old language. It's always done in a dead language or something like Latin and all that sort of stuff. And I understand it's because back in the olden days, people used to just go, "We don't understand what it is. Fuck it, it's magic." Same way that you explain electricity. Fuck it, it's magic. But
No,
like,
electricity doesn't exist. It's the only form of magic I'll accept. Electricity is magic. It doesn't exist.
but what if we are completely and utterly wrong? And like centuries ago, when people spoke Latin, they could cast spells. It's just the fact of nobody fucking speaks Latin anymore, apart from the Pope. And even he doesn't
It,
actually understand Latin. He just reads it from a book.
you know the whole I don't understand what that is, so it's magic that we did for centuries. Science was discovered and used properly.
And we just burned people at the stake, accusing them of witchcraft and wizardry whenever we felt like it.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that was just the good times, but that's irrelevant. Is the modern day equivalent of that Americans just saying everything's aliens when they don't understand it?
Yes, exactly. It is indeed. Or it's the equivalent of
You're lagging like a bitch.
I say you're the one lagging like a bitch for me, and you've also got a
All
time
right,
delay of whenever
it's
you
one of
reply
them.
to us, you're about a second after.
Yeah, so
One
do
of
you.
us has connection
Right, having
problems.
problems. Right, we'll carry on. It's never stopped before.
I know. We've always had issues. It's just now they're coming to
Yeah,
fruition.
your video's completely frozen away, so I'm blaming you.
My video is still fine. You freeze every once in a while. You see, this is we're just gonna keep going like a married couple and say it's your fault. No, it's my fault. No, it's
I thought
both our
everyone would agree
faults.
it's Jay's fault because he's not here.
Yes, it's Jay's fault. He's not here, so he can't host connection or anything. So it's all his fault. Also, my hair is just doing what the fuck it likes.
Definitely been on a delay because he's in Indonesia.
Yeah, you've just went down to 1 bar for me, so
One bar's all you need.
1 bar is all you need.
Anyway,
There,
when we're
there,
meant to be
there.
talking about
Anyway,
something, we've got a
we
podcast
are meant to
to
talk about
host here.
many things, and we always forget. Okay, I want to talk about some video games.
Okay.
Part one is because it's interesting and scientific and sort of goes on the whole thing of like the magic of the world. Part two is just so I can have a rant.
This is gonna be an argument, isn't it? Actually, well, no, we agree on most games, so it shouldn't
No,
be too
if
bad.
this is going to be me and you agreeing on something purely in principle of we enjoy games, and the people that I am going to argue with say they enjoy games, but seem to be the worst people in the world to do anything with games with.
Twitch streamers.
I don't know if any of them are Twitch streamers. I feel like they're all too bad at games to actually be Twitch streamers.
All right, so it's not just outright arsiness; it's stupidity as well.
Yeah,
I've got nothing against Twitch streamers.
other than the fact that we are streaming on Twitch currently, so you know.
Oh,
Hi.
hi Twitch
Yes.
and other people.
We've got one person watching on Twitch, probably Jay,
Probably not anymore.
because apparently we put Penelope to sleep with our bullshit.
Yeah, I would go to sleep if I was listening to us.
Thanks. I love the vote of confidence there, buddy.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I'm going to talk about, right, there's a game, I can't remember how long it's been out, but it's a VR
Okay.
experience, so it can't be that old. And it's called Home, and it was released by the BBC. So fuck knows how much it costs. It probably costs about £1 million per month just to be able to fucking use it. But it gives you the perspective of what it's like doing a spacewalk from the International Space Station. See, it gives you the VR experience of what it's like being on the ISS. You can have a wander about, and then it takes you on a spacewalk, and it shows you what it's like being on a spacewalk from the ISS. You have to actually hold on to the bars and disconnect and all that sort of thing, and you've got your little jump boosters and bits
I
and
mean, that
pieces.
does sound cool, to be honest.
It
And
look it
you use
looks
Oculus
amazing.
Rift. I don't
Yeah,
know if there's a charge to use this.
I mean it's a game, so it usually costs money just to buy it anyway. But like
Yeah,
BBC loves subscription stuff, so fuck knows. But
I
no,
tell
the
you.
it looks really good. I've seen a couple of videos of it. I've seen someone who's scared of heights do it, which is absolutely hilarious because the entire time he just drops to the floor and ends up sweating like mad. But no, it like
It does
that
say
type of
comfort
thing.
level intense.
Well, yeah, this, that's the amazing thing. I love VR stuff, despite the fact I've got no VR stuff. But I love the idea of it. But I love the idea of it being used in this way, not just for video games, but for things like showing you what it's like going on a spacewalk from the ISS, or showing you what it's like being in a research submarine going into the depths of the ocean, or like what it's like to be a deep sea diver. I love the idea of those types of experiences
I'm gonna
where you
find that
can,
out anyway when I beat that Frenchman's record.
yep. But I love the idea that you can do this sort of thing, and maybe one day it'll be in every educational institution where they'll just have a VR area, and kids will be able to go in there and just see what it's like doing this job. They can see what it's like being an astronaut. They can see what it's like being a deep sea diver. They can see what it's like being anything. I mean, we had someone come to my workplace, it was to do with apprenticeships, and they had a VR thing of someone welding. Like you would weld in VR to see what it was like welding something together for. I can't remember if it was like a car or just pieces of iron or whatever, but it was like a VR experience, one of those mini VR experiences where you can see what it's like doing stuff.
You know, when I got my qualifications for welding,
Yep.
I went in and wasn't allowed to touch the hot stuff for a little while till I was basically trustworthy and understood and vouched that I wasn't going to burn stuff for the hot stuff. Then I was just given the hot stuff and told not to burn things, and they hoped I would.
So the old school good way.
Yes.
Yes,
Get
the
that,
good
pull
way.
that trigger, keep your fingers out the way of it, don't look at the flame, don't blind people, don't weld people, don't weld things too. What I learned you could do is
Don't
weld
weld
something,
people.
so, weld a metal bar to someone's workbench that sticks out of the welding booth, right? And then when they're doing their test piece and they're welding, you then grab the metal bar and pull their whole workbench out from in front of them, and they're just like, "What the fuck?"
Okay. One, why? Two,
Why
how
not?
do you know that? And three, how
'Cause,
did you pass your course?
I was good at welding when I wasn't fucking around. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's how I had the time to fuck around.
This is exactly why whenever we talk about making a workshop or owning a workshop or anything like that, I am not trusting you with any sort of welding while I am in the fucking vicinity.
I wouldn't trust me with anything that requires power, to be honest.
Anything with electricity.
Not even electricity, just power in general.
I'll
Like
set up a
even if
treadmill
you
and you can be the generator.
deal, I could do with it.
That's not the top of Stefan's t-shirt. You can see that it's just the bottom. It's just the fact that he's belly.
Fuck off. I'm wearing an oversized t-shirt because I'm comfy and I'm in my pajamas.
I mean, to be fair, it does look like a cool t-shirt.
It is. It's got a dinosaur on it, and
I'm
then it
wearing one.
says the animal kingdom that lived, breathed, and was extinguished.
You see, I saw something interesting the other day, and it was just like one of those meme pieces where it's a one-page comic, and
Yeah.
it was a picture of dinosaurs in a spacecraft saying, "Let's hope the monkeys didn't touch anything."
I love stupid like that.
I feel like if that happened, it would be so brain-boggling to every scientist and person out there. Like, holy shit, the dinosaurs managed to get space travel, and then they've come back and realized, fuck, the monkeys have evolved.
I did read a
Uh,
study. Basically, loads of people in America think that humans coexisted with dinosaurs at some point in history.
I mean, aren't the timelines a bit dodgy where we did coexist with a form of dinosaur? It was like a form of
Look, if
animal
you want
that
to be
was.
pedantic, if you want to be pedantic, all lizards and chickens are descendants of dinosaurs. Birds did exist at the time of the dinosaurs, and Komodo dragons and crocodiles are pretty much unchanged since the time of the dinosaurs.
Because
But
why would you
actually,
fix something that's not broken?
I'm on about a lot of Americans think that we were around avoiding T-Rex.
No, we were around long after that, but it was like
We'll ignore the
the
300 million year time period or whatever it was in between that, but apparently,
yeah. I mean, if we put it this way, Americans and anybody else that believes that, if we were running around trying to avoid T-Rexes and raptors and stuff like that, do you really think the human race would have survived considering half of the human race decided, oh shit, there's a worldwide pandemic. Fuck it, I'm going out for a beer. Or I'm not going to wear a mask because it goes against my values of I don't want to cover up my face.
apparently, like Stuart Tillio.
Yeah, we. I feel like apparently any northern. Sorry, Susie, I'm going to show you up on the screen. So apparently any northern accent, like Scottish or anything, I recommend putting subtitles on because it gets so confused. The subtitles are designed for American voices. So if you have Scottish, Irish, Welsh, or Northern, it's just it doesn't understand anything we say. It
It
just
doesn't,
fucks
yeah,
everything up.
it doesn't understand proper English. It only understands the half-assed English. That does make sense.
It only understands the Queen English, my dear sir, which means it only understands the pompous English, which no fucker actually speaks.
Do you watch the program that I sent you? Because everyone on that is proper English. You need to watch that at some point,
No,
right?
no, because I was practicing my calligraphy just to be proper English there.
That's fine. There is nearly 65 million years between people appearing on Earth and dinosaurs dying out. Uh, I do have the actual site here, but it won't fucking load because, what? Internet. Oh, hold on.
Of course,
It has now. Or hasn't. Come back to us.
I'll come back to you. Okay, so I'll go on to my rant. Hold on a second. I need to find
It's
the
back on.
caption. You bastard.
This is not my fault. So, yeah. Oh, it doesn't actually. Oh, never mind.
No,
Basically, the
never
United
mind.
States, loads of people think that there's a high. It's like 30-odd% of Americans think that dinosaurs and humans coexisted at some point in history, even though there's a pretty clear 65 million year gap between.
I mean, it depends which age group they asked, because I can't remember when it was, but I'm sure 20% or like a certain percentage of people think that Guy Fawkes was the guy that invented forks.
Was he not? It could have.
And just stupid shit like that. Like, I mean, we've got people that believe the Queen of England is a lizard person and is immortal.
Yeah, I'm not having
I
that.
mean, she is
We've got
immortal,
people.
but just
There
not a
is a lot
lizard
of people
person.
that think things like Finland exists and stuff like that,
I'm just gonna no.
and that pigeons are birds, and
Pigeons are birds. Fuck you.
they're not the drones.
Don't start all this shit again.
I'll get the diagram back up.
Don't fucking dare.
They've got wireless charging now, Kyle. They're getting advanced. Be aware.
Oh, fuck's sake. Anyway, I'm gonna move on to my
Mm.
rant, just because
Why do you think they get so
fucking
close
rant
to you?
time.
So listen to your conversations.
Because they're like stealing chips, that's why.
Yeah, that's seagulls, man. You see, you're confused. You're being brainwashed.
No, pigeons love stealing chips as well. They specifically target anything from Greg's as well.
That's true. Some of them are seagulls that's been painted. They're the ones that eat the chips.
For fuck's sake.
You need
Susie,
to put
don't encourage
a
him.
comment on for that to make sense.
Susie, I'm putting it up for anybody listening to the podcast version. Someone's just put up saying only some of them are drones. It throws off suspicion. I cannot speak this week.
It's
I
true.
do
And
feel
you
like
think
I've
that
got
they
a little
make
bit of a
chips.
lisp.
seagulls nick chips, so they're the seagulls. When they're little baby seagulls, paint some of them like pigeons.
Every bird nicks chips. Did you see that thing where someone thought they found a
Why are
rare
the
bird and
seagulls?
they called it animal control, and it wasn't? It was just a seagull that ended up getting covered in paint.
No, but why am I not surprised?
No.
You were
Right.
wanting to rant at something.
You know how I said there was two things for games? Yes. The second thing, because
Right.
we've had the marvelous part of the game and world where you've got like you can walk in space and you can be in deep sea. Now we're going to go to the stupid part of gaming in the gaming world, which is gaming journalists. Why the fuck are they so bad at every single game they play to the point where they make every game sound
Fuck's
shit?
sake.
And then as soon as you pick up the game and play it, you realize the game is actually fucking amazing and whoever played it just had no fucking common sense whatsoever or had no gaming
Like Goat
sense
Simulator.
and didn't know what they were doing. Like Goat Simulator or like game there's open world games where they don't have a quest log such as the Soul series or like the Bloodborne or something like that. I'm sure they don't have a quest log or something. And loads of game journalists say, "Oh, it's terrible, it's bad. Why doesn't it have this? This is a staple of the games." It's like because it's a fucking staple of the games. So we are doing something different. Fuck
Yeah.
you. That's why. Or
I
like
agree with that, but
the,
also sometimes people are just stupid. Like, if people have to be guided through things sometimes. There's someone I watch on YouTube and I watch all of his videos and I absolutely love his channel. I've been follower for years since he first started. And a lot of the stuff he does is brilliant. But then every now and then he'll be playing it through a game, he'll be playing a new game, and I've never played the game, but I'm looking and he does. I'm like, no, no, don't do that, do that. You can see what he's doing is wrong. And he'll still continue to just, and then people tell him in the comments, and then the next video will do the same problem again. And it's like, no, learn,
yeah, I know
because it's not
that
telling him do this. And he's
that's
not.
the problem.
I'm not shitting on him because he's awesome, but yeah,
There's
people are
loads of people
sometimes a
that
bit
just
dense.
don't do common sense, don't do problem solving themselves or anything like
Hmm.
that. Like, there's some articles on games where they'll complain about the stupidest things. Like, there's some of them where they'll give a game a terrible rating just because its graphics are terrible, but then when you play the game, it's absolutely amazing. No one cares that the graphics are bad because it's got a fantastic storyline and it's got gripping gameplay. But because it doesn't have the AAA game graphics, they'll throw it under the bus and say, "Oh, it's not worth buying,"
Can
but
I
it
offer an
definitely is.
argument to the direct antithesis, the exact opposite side of that coin, is that I find occasionally that a game will get an amazing rating. It's so up to date. It uses the newest like in graphics technology, and it's absolutely awesome, and it looks like a gorgeous game. But you play it, and the actual playing and the game mechanics of it, and how it feels to play, is just shit. But it gets good because it looks great and the story quite good. Well, fair enough. That's two elements of it, but the game itself to play is like clunky and doesn't work properly.
Yeah, I mean, it, it's the weird.
Or if plays well but the story's shit,
I
and
know
then it's
there's
like,
like Catch-22 things where like sometimes you're just stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Like Cyberpunk had it was everybody was raving about it, and then it came out and it was glitchy, and loads of people were really disappointed. But honestly, I don't give
yeah.
a shit about the glitches because Skyrim is still re-releasing itself and is still glitchy as fuck, and people love that game. If you can enjoy the game, I don't care if there's a few glitches here or there. I don't care
Listen,
if
nothing
like
can climb a
random
mountain
shit
like a
happens.
Skyrim horse.
Nothing could climb a mountain like a Skyrim person just hopping up the side of a cliff.
Yeah, but if you get stuck, you can always get the horse because that can go a bit
That's
better. It's got 4-wheel drive.
yeah. I mean, that's the one thing that everybody does now in video games. That it introduced a new staple of the old staple was, is there a waterfall? Yes. Is there anything behind it? Then it was, where can I find the edge of the map? Can I swim? Can I do this? Can I do that? And then Skyrim introduced, there's a mountain there. Can I climb it?
The answer is always yes.
Well, most of the time it's yes, and sometimes you can get halfway up and then there's an invisible wall saying, "Why the hell are you doing this, you idiot? There's nothing up here."
Or what's more common is you get to a bit that's a little bit steep and then you fall off the horse and die.
Yeah, yeah. Or you just end up completely flying off the other side, not realizing because you're just so your brain is turned off and you're just constantly spamming the jump button or you're constantly spamming the run button, and you just launch yourself off the other side even when you reach the top because you didn't realize. Which is always fun until you realize, oh shit, there's fall damage.
Yeah, fall damage is a bitch.
It
But
is.
it's necessary for a realistic, enjoyable game. Makes you think
Yeah.
about what you're doing after you die 3 times, doing the same stupid thing.
It's like I love games that try new things and try different things and completely change the way like you perceive something. But sometimes you'll look at a game and you'll look at like I've stopped looking at reviews for games purely because a lot of the reviews and a lot of the like uh articles written by game journalists will just absolutely shit on a game that looks really good to me, and then when I play it, I'll absolutely love it, and I'll be sitting the entire time expecting something to fuck the game up. I'll play through the entire game expecting something to go wrong, expecting there to be some massive bug or something, because
Hmm.
I've heard about it from all these other people, and then it'll just never arrive. Or I'll buy a game because all the journalists and everybody have said, "Oh, it's an amazing game. It's fantastic. You have to buy this game. It's a must-see game of 2020 wank splat whatever." And then it's just the worst game I've ever played in my life, and I end up playing. I can either end up playing a little bit of it, or I'll try and power through, and I'll play through the entire game, and I'll get to the end, and I'll be sitting there going, "Can I have my time back, please? Can I have my money back, please?" Because that was just a waste. That like I
Yeah.
don't, I have no enjoyment in this. I've
Or
played
the
it just to see if there is something at the end that makes it worthwhile, and then nothing came.
or the storyline's so linear and boring that you do it within a matter of a few days, and it's just been like, oh, what's the point? And then on the other side of that coin, there'll be a game where you ignore for ages because it's apparently a bit shit and it's buggy and it's glitchy and it does this and it does this. Eventually, you download it and play it or buy it, and you think, oh well, it's only a fiver because it's like 4 year old or whatever. Game, and you just think, well, why didn't I get this when it came up?
Yeah, a good one. This is like Call of Duty. Like people constantly, all the game reviewers and stuff will constantly go, "Oh, it's a fantastic game. It's a brand new game. It's AAA. It's all this sort of shit." Problem is, AAA studios are usually the worst offenders for bringing out shit stuff purely because they don't need to sell a game; they just need to sell a name.
Exactly, it's all
Like,
Call of Duty is so bad. It is so bad. It is so. Like, I play it all the time. I'm not shitting on it and saying as someone who just doesn't like it and doesn't like the franchise and that. I love Call of Duty. Black Ops and Black Ops 2 were the absolute peak of Call of Duty. Modern Warfare, the original, the fourth Call of Duty. Call of Duty World War Two was a decent game. Most of Modern Warfares and Black Ops have been different games. The Advanced Warfares were shit. All this like fucking spacesuits and like stupid powers that you'd never have, and exoskeletons, and that was wank. And then it got a bit better later on, and now we're at the point where it's pretty much just Fortnite, if you like, but it's
yeah,
Call of Duty, so it's more realistic in that, and that's fine. The whole battle royale thing's a big thing at the minute, and I quite enjoy playing it and that. I enjoy the game itself, but it's so frustrating and buggy and laggy and glitchy and shit, and they don't do anything to fix things. And the buff guns that don't need buffed, and the nerf guns that don't need nerfed. And now it's crossplay, and no console player wants crossplay with PC because it's so fucking annoying. Because 95% of all fucking cheaters are PC gamers. 95% of all the people caught cheating are cheating on the in a completely ruins when you're trying to play on console, and there's some wanker on PC cheating. That you might feel like as a PC player, well, it happens all the time. Seriously, when you're playing on console, it never happens. It very, very rarely happens because it's just so much less accessible to cheat on console and get away with it. And then, Call of Duty, like you said, it's selling the name. A Treyarch or Infinity Ward or whoever's going to release the next Call of Duty game could literally have a shit in a box and call it a Call of Duty game, and people would still buy it for 70 quid. It's ridiculous.
yeah.
That's where
That's
we're at
another
now.
thing is the price of games. Games are becoming less and less accessible purely because of the fucking price.
Don't
When
don't
when we grew up, they were about 20 quid. Like I remember going to a shop and getting a game for 20 quid, or I remember going with my granddad on a day trip to Edinburgh and buying the first Assassin's Creed game for a fiver.
No, Kyle, you're gonna set me off on
Like,
another. Are you ready?
good.
I
I like
understand
rants.
the technology changes. I understand that more goes into it. Game files get bigger. You use different technology to store it on the disk. It uses different this. You run it on better systems. It's got better graphics. It's got better gameplay. It's got way better like physics engines and stuff like that. I understand that that is going to create a higher cost. I remember, like Kyle said, when games were like a fiver and shit, PS1, PS2, 20, 30 quid for a brand new game when it first came out. Xbox 360, PS4 era, PS3 era was like maybe it's 40 quid, 45 quid for a new game. Xbox One and stuff like 50 to 60 quid, and then the current gen is like 70, 80 quid for a game. That I understand, I'm fine with, but what the fuck happened to buying a game for whatever it costs? And I don't care here, so I'll use a baseline of 30 quid. A brand new game is out, 30 quid, you buy it, you've got the game, you can do everything you can ever do with that game, you've got everything that is available as content on that game. Why the fuck do we now have to pay 70 quid for a game that you can only use half the stuff on because everything else is behind a paywall? Fucking EA and their actions. If I was Putin, I would bomb EA headquarters. That's what I would do. Leave Ukraine alone. Get rid of EA because their microtransactions are off the fucking chain. Every single fucking game you buy from EA, you don't even get past the start menu before it's trying to sell you shit. Fuck off, I've already bought the game. Give us the shit anyway. I paid 60 quid for this. Give us all the shit that's on it. And then the update, we'll update this one now. We'll update, it's been out 2 months and everybody's stopped making money on we've stopped making money on it. So we'll update it, but you have to pay to get this in the update. Fuck you.
No,
Fuck off with games passes and microtransactions. Just give
I
me the game
absolutely
that I
agree with that.
buy with everything available on it. Don't add shit halfway through the game's life just to try and make yourself more money. You're making enough
I
anyway.
I absolutely agree with that. Like, I understand DLC have been around for years, and if they actually add something to the game,
Free DLC.
that's fine. Like, free DLC, or like every gamer, if they get a free DLC, it is like Christmas because it's adding something to the game that usually it's something that the players have asked for, or it's something that just makes the game more. It's an extra mission. It's like an extra little side mission thing that you can do that you don't
Or
need to
this has
do, or
been
you can go and do it.
Yeah, or it's a, we're sorry that this has been an issue, but we've patched it, and since we've patched it, we've also got you this in the download so that it's a little something for your patients.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. But it's the games where they'll decide, oh, we're gonna bring out this DLC. It's one extra mission and one extra skin, but we're gonna charge you 40 quid for it because why the fuck would you ever want to charge someone 40 quid for one mission and one thing, or like even just 20 quid? Like, I refuse to understand or even try to figure out why people would pay more than £2 for a DLC, which is just a skin, or even just pay for it at all. Why would you
I think
bother? Like, I can understand games bringing out DLC to update games and add more to it so that you can get extra missions and stuff. Like, I've got a game where that added a DLC where there's an entire new storyline that you can do on the side, and it introduces a pet companion and stuff. And that DLC is about 10-15 quid. That's fair enough. It's a brand new arc in that game, but it's not a full game on its own. It's still attached to that game. You still have to have the original game. It's just an arc
it's
it's
more
a
like
brand new arc that's
a micro
attached.
game onto it,
Yeah. It's like a sort of mini game within the game. You can play as a
like how
different
with Sims you
character
get
in
expansion packs.
yeah, you play as a different character. You do this little arc, which has like got 5 or 6 missions in it, but it expands the lore of the game. It expands you understand the game, and it gives you more to do. And it means in the actual game you can have an animal companion, because the side quests sort of allow you to gain that, and it adds in a new skill. That's perfectly fine because it actually adds something to the game, but it's still only 10-15 quid. It's not a ridiculous, oh, we've charged you 60 quid for this game. Now we're going to charge you another 40 quid for this DLC.
Yeah, I think if you're paying. upwards of 40 to 50 quid or more a game, there is no way on this fucking earth that you should then have to pay another 30 for a season pass. That basically means you get the DLC free, which means that game's really been 70 quid, but it's been a con. Just so that you don't have to pay £10 every time a DLC comes out for the next 12 months and end up costing 150 quid for the game. It's fucking stupid. It's moronic. If you sell someone a game, any downloadable content that comes out after that, whether it's a patch or an update or an extra mission or an extra skin or an extra vehicle or gun or character or whatever the fuck it is, should be free. They have bought the game. They have paid your company for use of that game and give them the other bits attached to it.
Like the only way I accept if you do paid DLC or if you do paid skins or microtransactions is if your game is free. Like if you release a game for free from the
Exactly,
start
yes.
and
That's
you
an
can play the
exception.
game for free, then I will be perfectly fine if you want to try and charge people something for buying a skin or buying a DLC or something like that. That's fine because the original game was free and that's okay. You're not trying to suck the money out of it. But like we're saying, when it's the game is already 60, 70 quid by itself, and then you're trying to charge the price of a whole new game just for added shit to your game, that is when you need to rethink your fucking whole life, basically. Like, that is when you
Yeah,
need to stop being a money grabbing bastard.
because that's all it is. It's greed, the money ground,
It is. Like,
which is annoying.
people,
And it's always the
you
bigger
could
companies that don't need the money that do it.
exactly the smaller companies. It's always the bigger companies. If you look at any of the games made by smaller companies, because they need the player base and because they need the good, like everybody to know that they are doing this for the players, and usually it's made by people who want to play these games as well. It's made the smaller companies are people that want to make the game. They want to make the game because they want to play it themselves. It's something that they've wanted to play but have seen that it's not on the market, so they've decided, okay, we're going to make it for you so that you can play it along with us. They're the companies that are usually the best because they'll release a game, you'll buy it once, and then if they patch something or if they release additional content, it'll usually either be cheap as chips or it'll be free because they know it's just making the game better. They don't they don't try and steal your money. They don't just grab your money off you. They understand that you've already bought the game. You just want to play the game. It's the big companies that have no soul left in the game. They don't care whether the game is fun to play or good to play or whether or not someone has poured 100 plus hours into designing this one singular level in the game. They don't give a shit about any of that. They just go, this is another cash cow. Let's just try and make as much money over it as possible. And that is the worst part of the gaming industry. And it's in other industries as well, but it's one of the worst parts of the gaming industry.
Can I give you an absolute perfect example and actually name a game in it?
Yes, go ahead.
So this came out, I've got the initial release date, yes, 25th of March 2013. It wasn't really publicised and stuff like that. I remember playing it about 2015-ish on the PC. Completely free download still is today. It's called, you'll have heard of it, it's called Warframe. Yeah?
Yes,
Right,
I've still got a friend who
Warframe.
plays it.
Yes, Warframe is a completely free to play game. It's a good little fun kind of game. It's a little first person shooter and it is completely free to play. I played it for about a year, never paid a penny for it. Every single thing in that game is unlockable by playing the game. You could have it and play it for free and never put a penny into it. If you want to unlock things early that you wouldn't unlock and stuff like that, there are microtransactions on it. But it's because the game's free. If you put enough grind into it, you can basically unlock everything for free. So you've got the choice of put in the hours and unlock it for free as you're playing the game, or pay to kind of skip a bit and kind of pay to not play the game, which is a bit weird. But I get that some people want stuff they don't want to work, like wait for it, or they might be excited by the love this thing, so they want that. There was no the microtransactions are purely optional. You do not have to buy anything to play the game, other than obviously whatever system you're running it on and playing it on. And then on the other side of it, you've got you know multi-billion or trillion-pound companies, and this is the publisher is Digital Extremes. So Digital Extremes. are but one of the world's top development studios. But they yeah, so in interactive entertainment, sorry. So they could have made money from it. They could have released it as a 30 quid game with loads of microtransactions. They didn't. Nothing is hidden behind a paywall. You've got companies that have got games that are the absolute staples of the gaming world franchises, like Call of Duty, FIFA. These are some of the worst offenders. The games are so expensive. They are charging you so much to release exactly the same game. FIFA. Do you know what? I'll go in on EA in general. EA Sports is the biggest rip-off on the planet, right? Every single year, it doesn't matter what sport you like now, basketball, American football, ice hockey, cricket, football, or soccer if you're American, but you know what I mean. That's right. Every single year, you get exactly the same game with minimal tweaks. You get updated kits for your teams. You get the rosters or the lineups or however you'd want to say that changed, right? So it's updated. It is something that it can infrequently throughout the season is done in very, very small updates that take a couple of minutes to download. It's literally saying, right, that player doesn't play for them anymore, the player there, and that kit's different, right? But yet you pay every single year without fail 50 or 60 quid or more for these games that is exactly the same as it was the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. And people keep buying them, and then they add things in as a paywall behind a paywall. So it's fucking stupid. It's
It
so
it
fucking
is
stupid.
it is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I've played like this has just turned on us shitting on the gaming industry. There are magnificent companies out there. I love some
There
of the
are.
gaming companies out there. Like there's some of them where they are just saints to gamers. They'll release a game and then like Stefan said, games like Warframe and stuff like that, you can play the
That was
game
just an
and
example that I remembered
nothing is
personally to
locked.
me.
Yeah, but there's loads of games that I've played as well where everything you can unlock either by grinding the game, or if you want to unlock it a little bit early, you can pay 2 or 3 quid for this skin or £1 for this skin, that sort of thing. You're
Yeah,
not
it's completely
forced
your
into
choice.
buying it, it's optional. It's the games where they force you to buy things that we are shitting on. It's the games that force you to spend more and more money every single fucking time for the same shit. I mean, I like when I relax, I just want to play some video games or watch a movie or anything like that. It's like watching a film and you're 45 minutes in and then it decides, okay, now we're going to charge you another £20 to see the ending of the film. Why?
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it feels like with a lot of games. There's some games out there where even if you finish the game, the company will release a DLC which will have a true ending in. That's one of the gaming industry's favorite things to do nowadays is a true ending DLC. Fuck off. Put your ending in the fucking game. Don't expect someone to pay another 20, 30 quid for a DLC to know how the fucking story ends. That's just stupidity and laziness and ridiculous.
Yeah. Is that right? That's going to wrap up this week, so we're getting carried away. So if you're going to take anything away from this episode, when you finish listening to it, don't forget to follow on all our socials. So we've got Twitter and Instagram and TikTok apparently and Facebook and anywhere. You just type in Taken Off Air, you can find it, including our website, which I believe is still currently down under maintenance. But
I think it's
hopefully
still
that'll be sorted
down.
soon. If there's anything you take away from this, we're sorry you turned into a gaming rant, but when you come off here, download Warframe, have a good time. It's completely free. I'm gonna openly promote it because it is a fun little game. Uh,
I am about
get
to
your
say,
get get
not
your copy of
sponsored.
Call of Duty, and I'm not saying do this if it's a digital copy, but get your copy of Call of Duty. Write a little note in there to Activision, tell them they owe you 50 quid. Have a shit in the Call of Duty box and email and mail it to them because that's what they're doing to you every time you buy that game.
Yeah, we're not even
Yeah,
going to start
and
on the fact that a game still costs the same amount when it's
don't
fucking, or
don't
even more when it's digital,
don't do
not
that
a
if
game
don't do
box.
that if it's a digital download. Don't shit in your disc tray. That'll ruin your console.
Yeah, but yeah,
Consumer advice, Kyle.
like
We don't do it very
yeah,
often.
like we say, not sponsored by Wolf or anything like that. But actually, Tell us what games you love that are free to play, or are games where everything you can unlock via just playing the game and grinding through it. Tell us those types of games because they are the best types of games. We want to lord over those types of games because they are the best. They are the ones that actually care about their communities,
Yeah.
that actually care about their fan base and the gamer base and all that sort of thing. So,
And do you know
like,
what? They are the kind of games where I will think, you know what, I do quite like that outfit, or I do quite like that skin for that gun, or I do quite like that character, and it's only £2 or £3, so I will buy. Because this is the other thing as well, the transactions on Warframe, you can buy like one or two things at a time, but it's only like £1 or something. You can literally, like you said, for Call of Duty or things, buy things that's one gun skin and a couple of calling cards, and it's like a fiver.
yeah. So,
What I'm
everybody,
Yeah,
uh,
the free to play fun games like that don't beg for money constantly, and that don't try and force microtransactions down your throat, or don't lock content behind their paywalls, are the kind of games that I'll think, you know what, I've got a couple of quid spare, I'll buy that because I quite like this game, and I will support the publisher.
yeah, that's what we're saying. Support the smaller publishers, support the good publishers. Fuck places like EA and stuff where they're just trying to cash cow money and stuff like that. Support the companies that are actually good to the player base and actually care about their product and care about the people and care about the people that play it. I have on multiple occasions looked at games that are massive AAA studios and make a fucking fortune off games and DLCs, and thought, why the fuck are they releasing a hoodie that's got 2 letters on and it costs 70 quid because it's theirs? But at the same time, I have bought a £20 thing, a £20 notebook or whatever, from a smaller studio that released a game and then decided, okay, we're going to put some merch to the side as well. They only had 2 or 3 bits of merch because they didn't expect to sell much because they're just a smaller studio. They released a game. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I went and I thought, you know what? I'm going to support them. I'm going to go and get something from their store because I want to show my support. The game was basically free, or it was cheap as chips. I think they deserve a little bit more. I want to see them release something else.
Yeah.
So everybody support the little guy. It's like our version of saying go local and all that sort of stuff. Support the little guy.
Yeah,
Support the
fuck
companies
you,
that are
EA, and
good
fuck
and
you,
support
Activision. Now
people.
we're going to go and play FIFA record.
Go and support the studios that support you. Basically, go and
Yeah.
help the studios that actually care. And to those studios that actually care, and to all the little game studios that grind away, and it's usually only 4 or 5 people in a room grinding away, putting in hundreds of hours making this game for people to play. Thank you. You are the saints of the gaming world, and you deserve far more than you ever get. So thank you very much.
Unless
And
you get a big
I'm
contract with a
talking
company like EA, in which case, fuck you as well.
I'm talking to
You
people
sell out.
like the people that have made things like Subnautica and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Subnautica is known worldwide now, but it started as a small project. Thank you to people like that who have a dream, make a product, and don't milk the living shit out of it. And thank you very much to all of you guys for listening to our stupidity and rants this week. It has
Thank you to
been a pleasure.
Thank you to Charlie Cleveland.
Why Charlie Cleveland?
He's the guy who designed Subnautica.
Ah, yes. Thank you
I
to
knew his
Charlie
name would be
Cleveland.
there somewhere, but I couldn't find him.
Thank you to everybody. It has been a
Yeah,
pleasure, and we will see you all hopefully next week. There might be one more for next week, we're not sure.
there will, because Jordan isn't at work, so I'm going to grab him on kicking and screaming. So there'll be
Fantastic.
at
We're going to
least
go and
three, but
kidnap Jordan.
there'll be at least
And
three.
on that note, I'm going to go and get the duct tape, and we're going to go and grab him. See you later.
Au
Bye!
revoir.
Can I click end now?